Hello. There will be a lot to cover in today's practice lab. I hope my videos are helpful for those who are seeking to be certified for the Cisco exams. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel and recommend it to your friends and share it on your Facebook page and give me the thumb up. And please, let me know if you have any suggestions, comments, or questions. I will gladly answer you back. On the description of this video, you will find three files, one for the packet tracer source files, and the document to walk you through the lab step by step until you finally will be able to verify the configurations you did during this lab. And the third file is a notepad, which you will use during this lab. So in today's practice lab, I will start by erasing the startup configuration for one of the routers and one of the switches, just to show you how this is done. In packet tracers, the devices would be not pre-configured. So here I'll show you on router 1 how this is done. So far we have nothing here, but just enable, simply type erase. We want to erase the startup configuration and then hit enter and then confirm. So anything there on the startup configuration has been erased. And how to reload it, just simply type the command reload and then confirm and give it a few seconds and until it's done reloading. And you do the same on router 2 and router 3 just to have an idea how this is done. Now I'll show you here how to do it on the switch. I'll erase the startup configuration and any VLAN configuration on switch 1. So here simply enable, type the command erase startup configuration, hit enter and then confirm. It is done. It's gone. Now how to delete the VLAN.dat, simply type this command, delete VLAN.dat, and then hit enter, and then it will ask you to confirm, just hit enter, another, and you are done. And how to reload it, just simply type the command reload, and then confirm, and give it a few seconds until it is done. And you do the same also on switch 2 and switch 3. But as I said, so far we didn't configure anything there worth to delete. Now, I will configure the device's basic settings on the routers and the switches. What I'm gonna be doing, and this I already did here on the notepad, I will disable domain lookup, give the device a name, encrypt privilege exec password, and I'll use CCNA as a password. And the console access password is Cisco, telnet access password Cisco, and then I'll encrypt the plain text passwords. And I'm using Cisco or CCNA just to simplify things for you during this lab. But in real world, you need to use a complicated password nobody can guess. So as I said, I'm using this notepad, on a side, because I will be configuring all of these 6 devices. Simply highlight it, right-click it, and then hit copy. And then we will start with router 1. Type no. And then here, enable configure terminal. You have 2 ways how to do this. Either here within the window or for the device, right-click it, click paste, or simply after you copy it from the notepad, just click paste here. So I will show you how we will do it this way. Type paste and you are done. Now as for the host name of router 1, I'll use router number 1 and hit enter. So now I'll do the same on router 2. Enable configure terminal. Here I'll click paste. And this is our router 2. And I'll do the same with router 3. Enable configure terminal. And here I will right click and click paste, and we are done. And this is, give it the name of router 3, host name. And the same we'll do with the switch 1. Enable, configure terminal, click paste here. For switch 1, I'll use the device name or the host name SW1. Switch 2, enable, configure terminal, click paste for switch 2 as W2 as per the host name. And on switch 3, the same, enable, configure terminal. And no, this time I'll use this method or way for host name for switch 3 SW3. So we are done with the configuration here, the basic configuration for the devices. Next, I will configure the IP addresses and activate the interfaces for the VLAN devices in the topology. Here for on router 1, we have this VLAN here and this VLAN here. So on router 1, interface of gig 01, and this is with the IP address of 172.16.0.1/24 subnet mask, and activate the port with a no shut command. And I'll do the same for router 3's VLAN, interface gig 01, and this is with the IP address of 172.16.0.3 with /24 subnet mask. Again, activate the port with a no shut command. Next, I will configure the switches. Here, as you can see, for switch 1, we have VLAN on switch 1 with this IP address. For switch 2, for VLAN 1 on switch 2 with this IP address, switch 3, VLAN 1 with this IP address. So on switch 1, enter VLAN 1. VLAN 1 on switch 1, this is with the IP address of 172.16.0.11/24 subnet mask, and activated with a no shut. Exit from here. And as for the default gateway, we will use the virtual router with the IP address of 172.16.0.2 for all of the devices here. So IP default gateway of 172.16.0.2. Now I'll do the same on switch 2. Enter for the VLAN 1, and this is with the IP address of 172.16.0.12 with /24 subnet mask. Enable it or activate the port with a no shut. And for the default gateway, 172.16.0.2. And the same here on router on switch 3. Enter VLAN 1, and this is with the IP address of 172.16.0.13 with /24 subnet mask. No shut. Exit from here, and for the default gateway of 172.16.0.2. Next, I will do the IP configurations on the PCs. I already did this here for PC A. We have this IP address of 172.16.0.21/24, and this is the gateway, default gateway with PCB and PCC. Next, I will configure the serial links on the routers and activate them. So on router 1, from the global configuration, we will go to the serial 000, and this is with the IP address of 172.16.10.10 with /30 subnet mask 252, and activate the port with a no shut. Now on router 2, we have the loopback 0 with this IP address and the two serial links connecting router 1 to the router 2 and router 3 to router 2. So first I will start with the loopback 0 interface loopback 0, and this is with IP address of 209.165.200.193, and this is with a /26, so the subnet mask of 255.255.255.192. Now the interface of serial 000, and this is with the IP address of 172.16.10.9. This is with /30 subnet mask, and activate the port with the no shut command. And the other interface of serial 001, and this is with the IP address of 172.16.10.21 with /30 subnet mask, no shut. Now let's move to router 3 interface serial 001. This is the serial link connecting router 2 to router 3, and this is with the IP address of 172.16.10.22/30 subnet mask 252, and enable the port with a no shut command. Next, I will configure the switches interfaces. I configure trunking on the ports from F01 to 4 with VLAN 1 as the native VLAN, and disable the dynamic trunking protocol DTP and on all other interfaces, and shut down the unused ones. So starting on switch 1, so here we have on switch 1 what we are using for trunking F01, 2, 3, and 4, but also we have port 5, which is connecting the switch to router 1, and F06, which is connecting the PC to the switch. So these are the used ones, and the rest we will shut them down. So now configure the trunk ports on of the range of 0 from 1 to 4. Switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk native VLAN 1 on the ports connecting switch 1 to switch 3 and from switch 1 to switch 2. Now, I'll exit from here. Now we have the range of interfaces from the rest of the interfaces from F05 to 24 and interface range F05 to 24, and the 2 gigabit Ethernet ports of 1 and 2. This we will configure them as access ports. Switch port mode access, and disable the PTD. Switch port no negotiate. I'll exit from here. Now the range of addresses, we are using 6 ports on switch 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the rest are unused, so we don't need them for security reasons. We will just simply shut them down. Interface range from F07 to 24 and gig 0, 1, and 2. We are not using these ports, just simply type shut them down. Now on switch 2. Switch 2, we are using 5 ports. The 4, which we are connecting the switch to switch 3 and switch 1, and the F018, which is connecting the PC to the switch. So let's configure the trunk ports. Interface range F01 to 4, switch port mode trunk, switch port, trunk native VLAN 1. Now, we're using only 4 ports as a trunk, and the rest we will configure them as access ports. Exit from here, interface range from F0, 5 to 24, and gig 0, 1, and 2. Switch port mode access, switch port no negotiate. Enter. I'll exit from here. Now, we have the 4 ports from 5 to 17 are unused, but 18 is used, so we'll jump to 19 to 24 are unused, and plus the 2 gigabit Ethernet ports, 1 and 2 are unused. So now, interface range of F0, 5 to 17 and F0, 19 to 24, and the 2 gigabit Ethernet 1 and 2, they are unused, so we will shut them down. Now on switch 3. On switch 3, we have 4 ports. We'll configure them as trunk, and we have the rest of the ports. We'll configure them as access ports, but from switch 6 to 17, because 5 is used, and from 19 to 24, and gigabit Ethernet 1 and 2 are unused, so we'll shut them down. So let's configure the trunk port. Interface range from F0, 1 to 4, switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk native VLAN 1. I'll exit from here. Now, the range of ports from F0, 5 to 24, and the gig 0, 1, and 2, switch port mode access, switch port no negotiate. Exit. Now we have the range of addresses from 6 to 17, because 18 we are using, and now from 19 to 24, and gig 0, 1, and 2 are unused. Simply just shut them down for security reasons. Next, I will configure spanning tree protocol on each switch. On switch 1, I will configure rapid PVST plus. PVST stands for per VLAN spanning a tree. PVST is a Cisco enhancement of STP that provides a separate 802.1d spanning tree instance for each VLAN configured in the network, and configure the switch and the primary route bridge for VLAN 1, and then configure PortFast and BPDU guard on port F06, which is connecting the PC to the switch. Now, PortFast, it shortens, bypasses normal STP timers to get port up and forwarding as quickly as practical. This typically is a host PC workstation. It's used to minimize the impact of STP, TCN, BPDU traffic when a simple host is being rebooted or connected to a switch. It's a layer 2 function, so routers and firewalls are out. Enabling the PortFast feature causes a switch or a trunk port to enter the STP forwarding state immediately or upon a link event, thus bypassing the listening and learning state. The PortFast feature is enabled at a port level, and this port can either be a physical or a logical port. Now, what is a BPDU and what is its purposes? acronym for Bridge Protocol Data Unit. BPDU are data messages that are in exchange across the switches within an extended LAN that uses a spanning tree protocol topology. BPDU packets contain information on ports, addresses, priorities, and cost, and ensure that the data ends up where it was intended to go. Now, what is a PVDU guard? PVDU guard feature is used to protect the layer 2 spanning tree protocol STP topology from BPDU related attacks. When a PVDU guard enabled port receives PVDU from the connected device, PVDU guard disables the port and the port state is changed to a disabled state. Now, what is the root bridge? The root bridge, or the switch, is a special bridge at the top of the spanning tree, inverted tree. The branches, Ethernet connections, are then branched out from the root switch, connecting to other switches in the local area network. All bridges or switches are assigned a numerical value called bridge priority. Now, how is root bridge determined? All switches send PVDU which contain a priority and the bid. Bid stands for bridge ID. If there is a tie in priority, then the lowest MAC address will determine which bridge becomes the root. To select the path to the root, the cost to the root is calculated. Now, what is a bridge priority in spanning tree protocol? The bridge priority making up the leftmost bits in a value of 0 to 61,440. The extended system ID is a value of 1 to 4095, corresponding to the respective VLAN participating in STP. The bridge priority increments in a block of 4096 to allow the system ID extension to squeeze in between each increment. Now, what is the default bridge priority? The bridge priority value making up the leftmost bits is a value of 0 to 61,440. The extended system ID is a value of 1 to 4095 corresponding to the respective VLAN participating in STP. The bridge priority value increments in blocks of 4096 to allow the system ID extension to squeeze in between each increment. Now, on switch 1, exit from here in the global configuration mode, spanning tree, the mode rapid PVST, spanning tree VLAN 1 on switch 1, we want this to be the root primary. Enter. Next, I will configure PortFast and PVDU guard on F06 or port F06. Now, interface F06, spanning tree, PortFast, spanning tree, PVDU guard, and we want to enable this. Next, I'll do this same on switch 2. Spanning tree, mode rapid PVST. Next, I will configure PortFast and PVDU guard on the port F018, which is connecting PCB to the switch. So in the interface of F018, spanning tree PortFast, spanning tree, BPDU guard enabled. Now on switch 3, spanning tree, the mode rapid PVST, spanning tree, VLAN 1, root, and we want this to be secondary. Now on the interface of F018, which is connecting PCC to the switch, F018, spanning a tree, PortFast, spanning a tree, PVDU guard enable. Enter. Next, I will configure EtherChannel between switch 1 and switch 3. Now, EtherChannel is a port link aggregation technology in which multiple physical port links are grouped into one logical link. It's used to provide high-speed links and redundancy. Maximum of 8 links can be aggregated to form a single logical link. LACP, Link Aggregation Control Protocol. It's a protocol for the collective handling of multiple physical ports that can be seen as a single channel for network traffic purposes. So now, the 2 ports here, 3 and 4 on switch 1, and on switch 3, port 3 and 4. So on switch 1, interface range of F0, 3 and 4. Channel group, we are using group 1, and we want the mode here, as you can see, for LACP, which is Cisco LACP, either active or passive. So we will choose the mode on switch 1 as active and enter. Now on switch 3, interface range also F0, 3 and 4. Channel group 1, the mode in switch 3 I'll use passive. Enter. The link EtherChannel between switch 1 and switch 3. Next, I will configure HSRP. It is a redundancy protocol developed by Cisco to provide gateway redundancy without any additional configuration on the end devices in the subnet. With HSRP configured between a set of routers, they work in concert to present the appearance of a single virtual router to the host on the LAN. That's why I configured the default gateway for the switches of 172.16.0.2 and the same with the PCs. So now on router 1, the password of Cisco, enable CCNA. Now on the interface of gig 01, configure terminal, interface gig 01, connecting the router to the switch. I will configure HSRP for the LAN, group 1, and the virtual IP address of 172.16.0.2. So simply the command goes like this: stand by group number 1, and with the IP, the virtual IP of 172.16.0.2. Now I will make this the primary HSRP router. Stand by group 1, priority. The highest is 200, 255. I'll use 200. Now I will configure the router to become the primary HSRP router. Standby group 1, preempt. Enter. So now I configured HSRP on router 1. Now I'll do router 2. But in router 2, I will configure a default route out of loopback 0. The password here is of Cisco, enable, and CCNA. Configure terminal IP route to any network with this subnet mask, and we need the exit interface of loopback 0. Enter. Now I will configure HSRP on router 3. Cisco, enable, CCNA, configure terminal. On the interface of gig 01, stand by group 1 with the IP address, the virtual IP address 172.16.0.2. Enter. Next, I will configure the dynamic routing protocol, EIGRP, on the routers. So on router 1, from the global configuration, router EIGRP autonomous system 1, EIGRP with the router ID on router 1 of 1.1.1.1. Now I will advertise directly connected networks, and I will use classless network addresses. So for the network of 172.16.0.0, this is on the LAN 000.255, and the network of 172.16.10.8 000.3. Enter. Now I will set all Ethernet interfaces as passive. Passive interface on the gig 01. I will manually disable automatic summarization. Simply type no auto summary. So now we are done with router 1. Now on router 2, router EIGRP, the autonomous system 1, EIGRP, router ID on router 2 of 2.2.2.2. Now I will advertise directly connected networks except for the loopback 0, and I will use classless network addresses. So the network of 172.16.10.8 with the inverse subnet mask of 000.3, and the other network of 172.16.10.20 with the inverse subnet mask of 003. Now I will manually disable automatic summarization. Simply type no auto summary, and I will propagate the default router to all other EIGRP routers. Redistribute static, because we configured the default route on router 2. Now on router 3, router EIGRP autonomous system 1, EIGRP router ID on router 3 of 3.3.3. I will advertise directly connected networks. Here we have the network of 172.16.0.0 with slash the inverse subnet mask of 000.255, and the other network of 172.16.10.20 with the inverse subnet mask of 00.3. Enter. Now I will set all Ethernet interfaces as passive. Simply type passive interface, the one on gig 01. And I will manually disable automatic summarization. Simply type no auto summary. Next, I will test the connectivity of the network. I'll see if I can ping from PCA to PCC. So PCA here, ping PCC of 172.16.0.23, and we receive the reply. Can we ping from PCB to PCA? So this is PCB, ping 172.16.0.21, and we receive the reply, and it was successful. Now from PCB to PCC, ping 172.16.0.23, and also it was successful. Now can we ping its default gateway, the virtual gateway of 172.16.0.2? Also it was successful. Now can we ping the loopback on router 2? Ping 209.165.200.193, and also it's successful. Now, can we trace the route to the loopback? Trace RT 209.165.200.193, and sure enough we can. Sorry about that. And the trace route went here, as you can see, through router 1. Next, I will shut down the interface on router 1. I will shut down this interface here. So on router 1, and here, interface gig 01. Sorry, configure terminal, interface gig 01, shut. So as you can see, it turned to red here. So this port, this link is, we shut down. So now I'll see if I can ping from PCB to the gig 01 IP. From here, if I can ping this interface. Ping 172.16.0.1, and it should fail because I shut it down. I will cancel it. We don't need to go through it all. Now can we ping its default gateway of 172.16.0.2, and it was successful. Can we ping from PCB to router 2 loopback 0? I'll see if I can reach this. Ping 209.165.200.193, and also it was successful. So before, when we tried to trace the route to the loopback, it went through router 1. Let's trace route it again here to see after we shut down this interface how it will go. So trace RT, and as you can see, it went to the loopback here, but it went through router 3. So now I will just activate this, no shut, and it went green, as you can see here. So this is simply the command. We went through a lot. I hope I presented present this lab in an easy way that you can understand. Just read the walkthrough documents, and I explain a lot on them, you know. And you can here run some commands that just like show IP, EIGRP neighbors on the routers, show IP protocols. Just use the show commands, and even on the switches, show EtherChannel, port channel, show EtherChannel summary, show spanning tree. Just simply run whatever show command you can think of and study the results, you know, after you are done with this command, with this lab. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon in my next video. Please, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel and share this video on your Facebook page. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.